This is not a motivational video. And these are not moral sins. But if you take the stuff that I'm going to explain in this video seriously, they will absolutely change your life. So, come along. This is actually going to be stuff that can save you years of wasted potential. These are psychological traps that quietly drain an entire lifetime without people noticing. Usually, until it's actually too late. There are certain things and certain ways of thinking and, of course, actions that are not just a waste of time. They are actually traps. And if you're here, this video is going to help you get a number of them. Number one, living as if time is unlimited. It's unbelievable how we are most reckless with the thing that matters most. The core illusion is later. Our brain discounts the future. Death feels abstract in the distance, not tangible, so urgency never really fully arrives. You could be good today, but instead, you choose tomorrow because you think that you have tomorrow. And what happens due to this kind of thinking? Potential remains just that. It remains potential until it is swept away by the inevitable. So don't delay courage until health, time, or opportunity are gone. Most lives aren't ruined. They never get fully lived. There's this quote that everyone has two lives, and the second one lives when you realize that you have just one. The philosopher Seneca covered death quite profoundly, and he said, realize that death isn't something that will happen at the end of your life, but rather that death is something that is happening right now. It's like we have this hourglass. We know it has some sand, but we don't know when that sand is going to run out. But one thing is for sure, we wake up every morning and that sand is definitely draining. Therefore, every minute, every hour that passes is just a step closer to all this ending. And this may seem tragic at first, but it isn't. These are just the facts presented to us by reality. The question is, are you aware of them? And what are you going to do with your finite time? Dedicate yourself to mastery. Care about your relationships. Stop the silly conformity. Stop wasting your time. Stop waiting for permission and, from imaginary people as well. They will be dead in a few years anyway. So go after your dreams. Every second that passes by is consequential. It's the one thing that we can never get back. So as you waste time gossiping, scrolling, not learning, and paying attention to things that are not valuable, understand that a good life is all about virtue. It's not about how long you've lived. There are plenty of people that have lived long, miserable lives. It's about how well you've lived. It's the life in the years, not the years in the life. Seneca goes ahead to tell us that sometimes even to live is actually an act of courage. Life can kick the shit out of you, and it will. But you gotta stay strong and realize that every time you stay strong through a difficult time, it will make it easier to stay strong through another tough time next time. Another thing that you need to realize is that on a broader scale, you never really own anything. More so the big things. That mansion that you so desperately want. Even when you get it, it will belong to someone else in about 100 years. And a lot of people misunderstand this and say, well, doesn't that mean I shouldn't want a mansion? Is it bad? No, but have perspective. Realize that, for example, getting to own that mansion through the wrong means is a disservice to yourself. Because it won't matter in the end anyway. And you tainted your soul for it. Have the perspective to realize that it's nice to live in a mansion, but stay humble. Many have stayed in such and are now one with dirt and soil. Do not live as if time is unlimited. And all that to say, do it fucking now. Not later. Set your priorities straight, or you will waste your life. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that a good life is about good character. And as well as acts for the common good. What have you done with your time? What are the relationships that you have built? Did you leave the place better than you found it? And the second is confusing comfort with happiness. Comfort feels safe. It's cozy. Our bodies love it. Meanwhile, meaning feels risky, a bit vague. It's not tangible. So what do we resort to? We resort to familiar misery over uncertain growth. We go through the same numbing routines over purpose. Because purpose can feel challenging, we continue to chase pleasure over fulfillment, as though it has not become apparent to us that the more of this pleasure we get, the less we have. As though we have not realized our ability to adapt to all of the stimulation and still feel miserable regardless of experiencing it. Constantly. But fulfillment is different. A flourishing life is different from a pleasant one. A flourishing life can still accommodate the inevitable difficulties of life. But a pleasant one tries to avoid and distract itself from them, to numb itself from them, to drink itself out of them, to pleasure the senses out of them, to spike your dopamine until your brain is suffocating. Because you are operating on the wrong principles. See, comfort anesthetizes. It anesthetizes awareness. You stop asking why you're alive. Number 3, letting fear masquerade as reason. You see, the thing is that as humans, we have a very complex mind. And this very complex mind can sometimes play tricks on us. One of the ways it does this is through fear. Fear is subtle. It rarely says, I'm afraid. It says, it's not practical. I need to be realistic. And now is not the time. We rationalize. We rationalize cowardice and misinterpret it as intelligence. We think we figured out what's going on, yet we're just letting our fear get in the way. And if there's one serious trap in life, man, it's fear. Fear can paralyze you. I mean this metaphorically, but can you see how physical in your life it is as well? Fear can paralyze you. You don't move. And you can't even tell what's wrong. The opposite of fear, of course, is courage. One can achieve courage in 2 ways. You can have a reason that is big enough that it motivates you to do what you need to do despite the fear. Just as the all-famous Viktor Frankl said, a man with a why can figure out anyhow. Or number 2, you understand what fear really is. Fear is actually a psychological response designed to protect you from threats. So it's actually a positive ability that we possess, but the problem is it starts to view any challenge as a threat. And given our complexity, when our memories and phobias and all these experiences get involved, we now develop what is called an irrational fear. Irrational fear is what stops you from talking to the person you are attracted to because you think it will be so significant an event. It's almost like your life will end. Irrational fear is when you don't go after your dreams because of what your friends will think. Do you see how irrational that is? Irrational fear is when you think you're not good enough. And this is clearly a new field that you are actually getting into. You've not developed the skills in it yet. But hey, fear tells you, you're just not good enough. So what are common fears? We have fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of embarrassment, fear of uncertainty. This is a big one. Fear of criticism. It's because your brain treats these like survival threats, even though they are not. Fear rarely stops people through dramatic panic. Instead, it works through subtle psychological mechanisms. One of these is overthinking, and the second one is perfectionism. This one often disguises itself as preparation. The third is attachment to your comfort zone. Your brain starts to value certainty more than opportunity. The fourth is identity protection or ego protection. Another deep form of fear is protecting the ego. If you never try, you can always believe that I could have succeeded if I tried. And you're right. Maybe not immediately, Maybe not on the first time, but maybe eventually. But instead, fear is going to make you choose the ultimate failure. The failure of never having tried at all. The philosopher Soren Kierkegaard described this as the sickness of possibility. I think it was in his work about anxiety. A person sees many possibilities for their life but never acts on them. The result is a quiet form of regret and, of course, a sense of low self-worth. The body keeps the score, man. The great insight that I want you to take away from this is that fear rarely disappears before action. Most people assume courage means not feeling fear. No. Courage actually means acting while fear is present. If there is no fear, there is no courage. It's just what you want to do. Because then it's direct will, no conflict. So develop your courage muscle. Sometimes the only way is through. Sometimes the obstacle is the way. Do not let your fear paralyze you. Take action. Otherwise, you'll fritter away your time, this valuable thing that we've already talked about, and you'll be frittering your life away. Number 4, another trap, externalizing responsibility. If only my parents, if only my country, the economy, my boss, my partner. This splits the psyche because blame goes outwards and responsibility outwards as well. But you know what they take with them? Power. Power never comes inwards when you externalize responsibility. There is a crucial difference between taking responsibility for everything that happens in your life and blaming yourself for everything that happens in your life. That's all you need to do here. When most people hear that they ought to take responsibility for everything that happens in their life, they think it means that everything is their fault. No, that's blame. It may not be your fault that your business failed or that you were fired, but you need to take responsibility for it. That's the subtle difference. You need to ask yourself what you're going to do next. Now that this bad thing has happened, there are bad things that happen that are not our fault. And there are bad things that happen that are our fault. And there are good things that happen that are our fault. And there are good things that happen that aren't ours to take full credit for. But we take radical responsibility for all of it. All of it. Responsibility means, what are you going to do about it? Including accepting that it has happened. Blaming yourself for everything is different. But the moment responsibility is outsourced, agency dies. Power and options die. They now lie elsewhere. All that is left is sadness and self-loathing. Now, the 5th psychological trap, living through other people's scripts. Many never stop to ask, is this aligned with my nature? Where in this do I self-actualize? Some people don't fail, they succeed at a life that they never chose. I'm not even going to say more about this one, but I have a PDF on Growthplace Premium that is going to give you a much better understanding of this. So check it out. The link is in the description below. And then number 6, avoiding inner conflict instead of integrating it. This one is essential. It is one of those things that are so subtle, but so profound and important in determining the quality of life you will have. So you see, human beings, we flee. We want to flee from loneliness, from shame, from mortality, unanswered questions, from silence. And how do we do this without even knowing what's going on? Through noise, through lots of sex, through alcohol, religion as escape, endless consumption, reels, binge watching entertainment. We don't want to sit with ourselves. And it's valid. It's because we do have inner conflicts. We do have a lot of deep-seated guilt, a lot of anger, maybe a lot of trauma, conscious and unconscious. There's a lot that happens with our fragile thoughts. But as difficult as it may be, we need to have enough compassion for ourselves to sit with our scary thoughts and feelings and to let them tell us what we need to hear but are so afraid to listen. Maybe we don't even have to do it through silence. Maybe we can find a psychological therapist or a good friend to help us through this process. But we do need indeed to integrate the parts of our psyche that we dread the most. It's amazing what this can do for us, what freedom we can achieve through this process and even through meditation. What you avoid internally rules you in silence. Psychologist Carl Jung famously quoted, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." That's the best way I can put it. Now, number 7 is mistaking information for wisdom. Philosophy is the love of knowledge and wisdom, but true philosophy includes actually applying this knowledge. You have to apply this knowledge to your life so that they can be better because of it. Knowledge does not equal transformation. We read, watch, discuss, analyze, but never apply. Thinking becomes a substitute for living. Life is lived in the arena. All philosophy must help you have better romantic relationships, a better relationship with yourself, a better relationship with the world, and even the material. A better day, a better year, a better month, all because you applied it. That's what good philosophy is about. Number 8 is waiting to feel ready. Readiness is a myth. Action precedes clarity, not the other way around. It is only very few times in our life that you will get to act whilst having all the answers. Let me repeat that. It is only very few times in your life that you will get to act whilst having all the answers. Most times, even when you think you do, you'll find that that just wasn't quite accurate. So why waste time? Act and get feedback from the world. A large amount of your success simply depends on how many iterations you're able to do. You act, you get feedback, and then act again. You don't have the right model of the world yet. And you need to gain that to a certain degree by experimenting. This is how you get ready, by doing it, by starting the project. You purchase the equipment, you read the book, you meditate for 5 minutes. It will be a disaster. You're not going to become a Zen monk in your first hour of meditation. You don't know anything about it, but do it. Put in the iterations. Put in those fucking iterations already. Ask out the person your heart is yearning for. Those who wait to feel confident shrink their nervous system. They condition themselves for passivity. Now, number 9 is confusing busyness with progress. Because motion can feel like movement. But without a clear aim, activity only exhausts you. A busy life can still be a wasted one. So what matters? What doesn't? What's urgent? Ask yourself this question. The truth is that life usually isn't wasted through one catastrophic mistake. It is wasted through small avoidances daily. Self-betrayals daily. Unquestioned assumptions. And this goes on and on. It is repeated for decades, but we can change that. We can change that. And today, if you got value out of this video, click the subscribe button and check out Growthplace Premium. The link is in the description. Thank you.